Well, as we start the countdown to 2016, there's some good news on the horizon, excuse me, for homeowners, sellers, and potential buyers.
Local real estate professional Kyle White from RE/MAX Advantage Plus is here with his real estate predictions for the new year. A lot of people are listening up to this one. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Kyle.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
Okay, before we look ahead, because that's very important, let's talk about what was the Twin Cities housing market like this past year.
You know, it was a really strong year in 2015. The first 3 quarters of the year were very strong. We were seeing a lot of multiple offers. Homes were selling for actually over asking price in a lot of situations, and market time was very, very low. So it was a great time to be a seller.
So let's think ahead now as we get close to the new year. We know interest rates are starting to tick up, so that could have some effect. What do we predict for 2016?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see interest rates creep up a little bit this year. You know, the Fed raised the prime rate, which doesn't have a direct correlation on the 30-year fixed rate, but at the same time, I would look at it as a sign of what's to come, which will have an effect on, you know, values.
So that may get people to buy earlier than they would if they're thinking about purchasing a new home. Before the interest rates possibly go up.
It would be a good opportunity for somebody to still lock in at a very low rate, because rates are still very, very good. Historically you know, best
low.
ever.
Right. So if I'm looking to buy and I'm thinking about the interest rates and what they could probably do, I mean, how much do I weigh that as a factor? What am I thinking about right now if I want to buy a home in 2016?
Well, I would say if you're thinking about buying, time is definitely of the essence. You know, this time of year you typically get a little bit better deal than you would in the spring market, because there's less competition. Prices always tick up in the spring. But at the same time, there's less inventory on the market right now, so you have less options to choose from.
Sure.
So it's a give and a take.
Yeah, and of course everyone wonders about their area where they live. So what are the kind of, as far as the biggest growth areas for next year, where do you see those areas in the Twin Cities?
You know, we've been seeing a lot of new construction on the outer ring suburbs.
Sure.
You know, and people are willing to travel more because right now gas prices have dropped, so that's great for someone looking to move out. And then
bypass highways help too.
Bypass highways, and you know, less people are actually traveling for work now. So many more people can work from home. So it's not a big deal to push a little bit farther. You get a bigger home for the buck, you know, and it's new construction, or you just, and the schools also are getting so much better on the outer ring suburbs. They're spending a lot of money on new facilities, and so people love that.
That's a really good point. So we talked about if we were looking to buy. Let's talk about if we were looking to sell. And maybe, you know, we've been waiting all 2015. We just knew that the price that we wanted just wasn't going to happen. Is this the year? What are we thinking about?
I think this is going to be a great year to sell. Last year, the past handful of years has been great, especially for people that are looking to potentially move up. You know, because you're going to be able to get your home sold pretty easily in the lower price points, and then if you move up, you have a few more options. So it's going to be great.
Right. Well, let's talk about advice for the buyer who's out there. What do you suggest to them, and would one of the things be to start early in the start of the new year, to start looking quickly?
I think it'd be a good idea. I mean, if you're looking for the best deal and you're not stuck into a lease, or if you don't need to have to sell your home first, I think it'd be great to start looking sooner, because you typically, like I said, you can get a better deal right now, and while rates are still very good.
And we're coming off a time where I would think during the holidays it kind of slows down. People are doing more activities with families and that kind of thing, and thinking about buying a home isn't maybe top of the list.
It's usually not right now, but that's why it's a good opportunity for people, because people aren't thinking about selling either. But people that have their homes on the market right now, they need to sell. And so they might be in a position to take a little bit better offer than someone that's waiting till spring to maximize their value.
And Kyle, this is something that I dealt with when my husband and I bought our home maybe a couple of years ago. People don't really think about this until they're in the middle of it, but we actually dealt with having a real estate agent who was recommended by a business, and so it wasn't that personal touch, and we felt that it wasn't that personal touch. What are some tips you have for people as they're going into 2016, if they're thinking that they want to sell their home and they want to get someone that is going to really look out for them, you know, in the process? Any like general tips that they should think about?
Well, full-time agents don't work with part-timers. That's a huge thing. You know, being a real estate agent, you know, it's not hard to get your license, and so we have a lot of people in the industry, but they're not professionals. You know, they do it part-time. Work with somebody that's full-time. Work with somebody who does this for a living, you know, that does it every single day like we do, that has a touch in the marketplace. Work with a good, reputable company. Do your research. Meet with maybe potentially more than one agent, you know, but referrals obviously are always the best too.
They are. Yes. If mine was like the personable referral, like an actual person, I should have got it from a person rather than a business. You know, so because I've heard good things from all my family who had good real estate agents.
And I know we're almost out of time, but what area, what market right now, as far as price, is the hot market? Is it like 200 to 350,000?
Yeah, it's that first-time home buyer price range. The lower price points under 200,000. I mean, it was hard finding properties for buyers last year in that price range, just because there was such little inventory. Multiple offers. I mean, we'd have houses that would have 5, 6 offers on them in 2-3 days on the marketplace. So if you're a buyer, and you find that home, move fast, get that offer in quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. I think the fast part and moving fast is a little bit hard to do. Real quickly, I got about 30 seconds left. What can you do to make sure that you're moving things along quickly?
Have your pre-approval ready to go.
Yes.
Have your loan officer set up. Have them make sure that your financing is 100% in order, and then have your agent show you the house and make that decision really quick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Exactly.
Got all the paperwork done.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Kyle, thank you. We appreciate you coming in and
Kyle.
talking about a very important issue.
So Kyle White from Remax Advantage Plus. Got to get that in there for you.
We appreciate that. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks so much.